Well, good morning and welcome to this week's edition of our Ideal Trading Lifestyle Spotlight session for Wednesday, October 24th, 2012. My name is Randy McMullen. I'm the market analyst with Ideal Trading Lifestyle. And before we get started, I'd just like to invite everybody that's in the room to just simply raise their hand just to confirm that they can hear the audio and see the video. So I'm just going to make sure that we've got that with all of those listening. So if you can just raise your hand so we can confirm that. Excellent. Just a couple more. And while we're waiting, we also want to thank those that are listening, unable to attend, but are watching this via a webcast video link. We do record these sessions, so these are made available to all those that are listening now to go back at any time, as well as those who are unable to attend. Okay, our session today will last anywhere from about 15 to 30 minutes. And so what we typically do at our weekly spotlight session is we look at our overall trading account summary. So we like to take a look at how we're growing with respect to the benchmarks compared to the S&P index. Are we seeing a typical portfolio gain based on what our clients are following with our Ideal Trading Lifestyle picks and our buy-sell stop-loss strategy, also our position sizing recommendations. The next thing we do is we review some of our economic reports. So what's going on in North America right now from an economic standpoint? What are some of the key reports coming out? We'll highlight the ones that are the ones that we're going to pay most attention to. And overall, we'll leverage into our market sentiment review, which is really a technical analysis of both the S&P and the TSX, where we look at what's happening with the economic reports, how they're affecting the markets, and where we're seeing support and resistance from a technical perspective. Next thing we want to do is just discuss community news, upcoming events. In that also is our client mailbag, so any questions that have either come up through a previous session that have been emailed to us, we can address those as well. And finally, a call to action. Any clients that are online now that have any questions, we're more than happy to answer those through this session. And again, if you've been unable to attend but you've watched this via our recorded video, you can simply email us direct and we'll make sure that we add this question into our next Spotlight session. Okay, so the first thing that we'd like to do is review our most current trading statement. So for those that are new on the line, this is our collective view of our portfolio that we've been developing and had in place since January of 2011. So in January of 2011, we put $15,000 into a tax-free savings account, and we buy and sell our Ideal Trading Lifestyle picks following our buy, sell, and our stop-loss strategies through our Precision Buy calculator, as well as our position sizing strategies through our position sizing calculator. So as a result, what we're seeing here is exactly what clients should be realizing that are following our picks on our memberships, and also that they're following the disciplines that we prescribe with buy, sell, and stop loss, as well as our position sizing. And so what we're seeing here, since January 2011, we're seeing a 47.48% overall gain in the portfolio. So what that means is that if you started with $15,000, you're sitting at over 22 now, and that's net of membership fees and broker fees. You can see that there's a line here that shows that we're taking membership out on a monthly basis, as well as your online broker costs to buy and sell your stocks. So that's net of all that. So essentially, these are excellent gains that clients are realizing. And what's important here to understand is when you look at these portfolio gains, that you can see that we've had months that have been great months in portfolio gains, other months that haven't been so great. And that's okay, because what's important here is that what we're seeing is an overall long-term trading approach that works. And so it's not about being right on one or two picks. It's not about having a great month or having a bad month. It's about a long-term approach. You can see last year in October of 2011, we had about an 8% portfolio gain. So that's overall portfolio. You can see in January, 6%. You can see in March we actually had a little bit of a dip, about negative 2.69, and so as a result of that, and June up 4.57. So far this month we're up about 1.75% on our picks. So these are very realistic approaches following our picks, our prescribed buy-sell stop-loss strategy, as well as our position sizing. You can see below here that our most 30 days of recent picks that we've promoted. So you can see, for example, MDI on October 17th, which was a TSX pick, that closed at 1081. We bought 1,000 shares, costing us 10,805. We ended up selling that the very same day, so it was the very next day it showed up. It showed up as a pick. We sold it the very next market day at $10.94, so we made a nice $129. So you can see here, we're not talking about making huge gains. We're talking about incremental gains that add up over time and show us the gains that we've got. So that's how our approach works. We don't have any stops on here, which means a stock that actually drops down, hits its stop loss, and we execute on it. But we do get the odd one, and one of the questions that we always ask our clients is that you need to be prepared to take a loss on a stock. It's impossible to be 100% accurate. It doesn't exist. And the only way that you're going to be a successful market trader is if you follow the discipline. So if a stock does close below its prescribed stop loss, we get out the next morning, and then we move on with the next pick. This way we rule out emotion. So you can see overall that as we're tracking our TFSA, that we're seeing good growth in our portfolio, and so this tells us that our system is working well, and as a result we continue to refine our filters and our algorithms that help us support our picks on a regular basis. Okay, some of the economic reports that are coming out. So this just is our economic calendar. You can see in the U.S. today we had the new home sales come out, and they actually came out better than expected. And as a result of that, we are seeing the markets just kind of moving up. Not a lot, edging up higher. We are into what we call a declining bearish market, so that tells us that we've seen some selling off and there's some weak market sentiment in there, so we're extremely cautious. On the 25th, we've got our initial jobless claims coming out at 8:30 in the morning, so we pay very close attention to these. This is telling us as to what the unemployment picture is like in the U.S. and has a huge impact on the markets, so we'll be watching that as well. On the 25th, we've also got the pending home sales coming out, and as you can see that they are expecting a 1% increase in home sales, and as a result of that, from the prior month of a 2.6% drop. We've also got the GDP data coming out, as well as our Michigan sentiment, which measures the overall investor sentiment in the market. So you can see they're expecting that to come in at just a little bit lower, but still over 80%, which is one of the reasons why we've seen rises in the market. So now let's just kind of talk about how that is working and looking within a technical perspective. Here is the S&P index as of yesterday. And you can see that what we've been noticing is that the middle of September we set a new 52-week high on the S&P. We've had a really nice rise since the beginning of June, but we have definitely flattened out. We were unable to break near the beginning of October a new 52-week high, which gave us quite a bit of an alert that there was some changes going on in the market direction. And so as a result, we became very conservative with a flattening of the market. You can also see that our cycle low actually dropped lower than our previous cycle here, which tells us that essentially there is a change occurring. So we saw that happening, and as a result, you can see as of yesterday, we had a big drop in the market, and we're looking to see whether we're going to see a confirmation of support here at this 1400 level. And so we're cautious with the S&P going forward. We're definitely not seeing the gains that we've been seeing since June, flattening out and actually dropping below. You'll see our momentum indicator is now undercrossed and into what we call a declining bearish momentum, which also speaks to us and tells us that we need to be extremely cautious on the S&P. All right, so here's the TSX, or the Canadian market now, and so we're seeing a similar thing there. However, we actually, as a result, we're looking for a confirmation of support at this previous cycle low here. We're also, as you can see, into an undercrossing of our momentum and into declining bearish. So that being said, we're very cautious, similar with the TSX and the S&P going forward, needing to see a confirmation. It doesn't mean that we don't promote picks. It means that we're very conservative in our approach. And so we've essentially developed all of our filters around the various different types of market sentiments. And when one market sentiment kicks in, it changes the way we look at the market and the way we select stocks, even our overall buy and sell approach and our position sizing. So all of that works in the background for our Ideal Trading Lifestyle clients. And so, but we do all of that to make sure that we are taking advantage of the markets when they're going up, but we're being very conservative when they're pointing to a downward or a decline. Okay, question that we just received over the week from one of our clients asked, what happens if a stock opens higher than the recommended price? So I guess the question here is saying that if we have a stock that you go and you complete your buy, sell, and your stop loss strategy based on our precision buy calculator. If that stock actually opens up higher the next morning, what do you do? Well, it is anticipated that a stock will have a pullback the next market morning based on the fact that if we look at the market sentiment and if we see that it's declining or flat, we'll anticipate a little bit of a pullback, because historically we've seen stocks pull back through the day and then to go back and hit their highs again. Now, but if a stock does open up higher, it means that the recommended buy price, we are expecting that particular stock to drop and fill that day still. So you don't cancel your bid. However, if the stock does gap up more than 2% higher than the previous day's close, we're suggesting that you cancel the bid, mainly because what's happening there is there's a good chance that that stock has actually moved up, hit its resistance level, and is now on its way down again. So that's one of our cautions. And however, if by the end of the day, if the stock has not dropped to meet your recommended buy price, the order should be canceled, because all of our orders are really for that day only. And however, when you put your order or place your order with your online broker, it's recommended that you go with a day order so that it automatically cancels the end of the market day. So we've had clients say to us, does that mean we're day traders? Absolutely not. We don't recommend that you sit in front of the computer all day by any stretch of the imagination. We suggest you follow the disciplines of our buy, sell, and stop loss strategy. And so essentially, if your stock is filled, you'll hold that stock up to 5 days, or you may even sell it the very next day. You'll find quite a few picks that sell within 2 to 3 days, but we suggest that no more than 5 days that you would hold the stock. So you don't just buy and sell stocks the same day unless that stock fills at your prescribed buy price, scoots back up again, and ends up filling at your prescribed sell price, which has happened quite a few times to us, even just within the last couple of weeks. So the key here is that there's always more picks coming. We don't recommend chasing stocks. So essentially that particular pick is meant for that next day if it fills, and then hanging on to that so that it hits your sell price. Okay. Some of the upcoming events that we have happening, we just actually last night had our boot camp in Edmonton, and went very well. This was a session where we discussed the overall approaches to the emotional psychological side of trading. So here we spent quite a bit of time last night talking about what affects most investors with respect to trading in the markets. And so what I have found as the analyst for Ideal Trading Lifestyle, and I've been a trainer now for almost 10 years, is that most clients have this emotional roller coaster that they get on when they buy and sell stocks. And so we could have the best system in the world with the best picks, but obviously if a client is apprehensive, fearful to enter the markets, if a stock drops, they're not prepared to take a loss, so they hang on to it and watch it continue to drop, or feel that they're not going to sell at the prescribed sell price, they're going to hang on to it longer. then obviously they're following a completely different path. And that's one of the reasons why we do promote the trading account, because this allows us to show you what the path, if you stuck with our path that we're recommending, where your portfolio would be following the Ideal Trading Lifestyle. Now, we are in Calgary tomorrow night, October the 25th, for another boot camp session. And so if you're in Calgary and you haven't registered for this, or the Calgary area, then please do. You can attend our session or you can listen via video link just like this. If you're unable to attend that local event, we are providing internet access and recording the session as well. We're in Regina on November the 21st, and of course we've got our options online refresher trainings coming up. We just had one last week, but we have our next one on November 15th and then December. So as a result of that, the other thing that we highly recommend is you take advantage of the articles that we're posting on a weekly basis through Community News. You'll see the most current one, which is what is the most popular method of stock trading. This is actually a study that has been completed on the various types or methods of stock trading, and there's an overall, as you'll read, a consensus that points to what's considered to be the most optimum form of trading in the markets, as completed as by an outside source using very different approaches. And so you'll see a lot of articles that help focus on the trader's mindset as well. So we want to really help our clients become emotionally confident and stable in trading in the markets. So we just suggest that you have a look at that with Community News. The other thing that we would highly recommend is that you visit our Ideal Trading Lifestyle blog on a regular basis. The address is posted here for you as well, so you can just go to that. Here we've got all our articles posted, archived newsletters. You can also be involved in our community of investors, which post on a regular basis. And so we just invite you to attend and join our ITL blog located at this address here. Okay, so this covers the content that we wanted to deliver today. And so what I'd like to do now is just those that are in the room, if you have a question with regards to anything that we've discussed here, or perhaps an additional thought, you can either type that into the question box, or perhaps you can just raise your hand, and we'd be more than happy to give you the microphone right now so that you can simply ask your question. For those clients that are unable to attend and are watching this via a recorded link, you can email us direct at the information on the screen here, and we're more than happy to provide you with that information update in our next Spotlight session, which would be next Wednesday at 10 o'clock in the morning Central Time. Okay. Well, just looking here to see if we have a question, and there is a question from one of the clients, and the question is that they are interested in attending the Calgary session. However, they don't live in the Calgary area, and how will that work? Well, if you go back to the Community News, you'll notice that there is, I'm just going to go back here now so that we can see it. If we go back to the Community News, you'll notice that you can actually register online for these sessions. So you can just go back to Community News, suggest and indicate that you want to register for this session, and you'll be able to register to attend this session. Now, these are for annual customers as well, so it may ask you to contact us direct and have a conversation with us with respect to attending this session. Because these are 2.5-hour sessions that we do with additional training and insight. So if you want to attend this session, either by attending our local the local location for it, or perhaps online, you can do that by registering for it. Okay, just send me a quick note back if that answers your question, so that you can do that as well. Okay. Another question came out on the option side of it. A client here is indicating that they want to find out about attending our options refresher training. We offer a complete options video course and training course, and essentially it is a very focused course. I have been the options instructor now for about 8 years, and I've also taken pretty much all of the other options courses that are available in the market. And so what we have found is that We wanted to build an options course that was easy for clients to follow, and again, from an ideal lifestyle perspective, gave them all the tools that they needed to be successful at trading options. So what our options course does is it actually provides you with a method of building on your existing learning. So if you're an ideal trading lifestyle client and you follow the picks, well, the options course will teach you how to take that one pick and apply it into an options environment. So we'll walk you through that step completely. We've provided options calculators, which make it very easy to go in and convert share pricing into options pricing and to understand what your buy, sell, and stop loss would be. And so one of the reasons why options is such a great investment tool is because typically options for us is an evolutionary approach to trading. And so the average ITL clients might see 1 to 1.5% returns on their picks. They decide they want to accelerate those returns and maybe look at our My Wealth Accelerator trading courses, our basic or advanced, which will show you how to go from that 1 to 1.5 to 2 to 3 to even 4%, because now you're identifying some of your own resistance levels and understanding the market sentiment, to options that actually takes that 1 to 2%, multiplies it by 10, so that means 10 to 20% returns, where you're seeing anywhere from 1 to 1.5% returns. So options is a great tool that allows you to leverage, and what we highly recommend for most of our clients getting started with options training is that they can register for the course. If you want more information, you can email us direct. And learn how to buy and trade options on a regular basis in smaller portfolios such as TFSAs, smaller RSPs, or cash accounts, which is where they work best. Okay? So if you want to attend this course, this refresher session, you will have to register and take the video course and then become part of our regular options client base that can attend our monthly sessions. Okay? So again, if we've answered your question, just send us a little either hands up or perhaps a little note saying yes, and so I'll just wait for that. And while I'm waiting for that, I just want to take this opportunity to thank all of those that are in attendance today, and again, those listening via recorded link that we've posted for you. All right, so on behalf of Ideal Trading Lifestyle, this is Randy McMullen, and we're signing out for this week's edition of our Ideal Trading Lifestyle Spotlight session. Have yourself a great market day.